Folks, welcome to your Labor Day show. This show takes no breaks, unfortunately, for you and me. But you got to do it when you have a chance to talk to our co-host every 2 weeks. You got to make sure you come correct. And we play this game, Where in the World is Sophie Ross? And I'm proud to report she's in a different place than she even was 2 weeks ago and 2 weeks before that. So let's get all into it with the pop culture roundup. Sophie Ross, where are you today?
I'm in my new apartment.
You got a new apartment
again. I feel like since I've been recording this podcast, I moved like 10 times, and it's like the worst thing in the world every single time. Like, this is my last time moving for a really long time, God willing. But yeah, new apartment. I'm really happy. Like, we love it. It's a great place. We kind of like it was kind of like a hidden gem that we found, and we're really excited about it. It wasn't even like on the market. But yeah, moving is the worst thing in the world.
You sound like somebody on House Hunters, like a hidden gem. Oh, we found this hidden gem.
We like Ryan Serhant, which is by the way what my fiance
Are you owning Manhattan right now?
Yeah, I'm owning Manhattan. No, we always laugh, and I know that like brokers or like real estate agents do more than this, but like we always laugh at how real estate agents on these shows are like, so as you can see, like windows, lots of natural light. You have your ensuite bathroom. This is where you shit. They literally just like, I'm like, I could do that. Like, you just like walk into an apartment, you're like, yeah, so like this is the living room.
That's why like Gina on the OC is like big in the real estate game now. And I'm like, God, if Gina can do, I feel like I could get into the I've watched one season of Owning Manhattan. I could sell any of those places like that.
Ryan Serhant. That's what my fiance calls him.
Owning Manhattan just got picked up for a second season this week.
Oh,
so you'll be able to
Henry
continue his
thrilled.
adventures.
Henry's thrilled, you guys.
Which, by the way, Henry, you guys, if you don't remember, that's Sophie's fiance, and we're less than, well, I mean, what are we, like a month and
less than 2 months.
Oh God.
Which, by the way, I never read reviews because like I get my feelings easily hurt. But I was reading reviews or like comments or whatever it is. I was reading either a review or a YouTube comment. It was like, we do not give a fuck about Sophie's wedding. Stop talking about it. And I was like, I'm sorry, I don't talk about it on purpose. Ryan brings it up.
Oh, wait. By the way, I give a fuck. I give a fuck. And I will say, I read a YouTube comment yesterday because I went really hard on Freddie Mellencamp because she was on OC this week. And I went really hard on her. And somebody was like, well, you say it's because she's awkward. What about you? You're awkward. And I was like, that's a great point. That is a completely great point, but it's a different kind of awkwardness.
You got me there.
You did get me there. I am completely awkward. So I was like, there is credence to this comment. I will take that in and sit with it.
I mean, I know that comments and reviews are like, a lot of them are like constructive criticism and like really helpful feedback.
No, some of it's just to hate you. Like some of
it is I don't know. So mean.
Some of it's just to hate you. Some of it legitimately. But I do like sometimes constructive criticism, or I talked to some guy yesterday and said I went too hard on Teddy, another one. And I was like, you know what? That's a good point. Thank you for letting me know. And it was like a really nice back and forth. But it is sometimes people just hate you. People hate you out of the gate.
People are going to hate my vocal fry, whatever it is. It's like some things you can't control and they'll comment on it. So it's just like, it is what it is.
We're calling out all our faults. Some people are just going to hate my fat thighs no matter what I do. People are just going to
hate my perfect tits no matter what.
People are going to hate my gigantic dong. Yeah, it is painful, I'm sure, for so many people, but they're going to hate it regardless. I'm sorry. There's nothing we can do about it. So if you want to enjoy the show, great. If you want to hate, watch, and listen to the show, I don't love that, but do it. Whatever makes you feel free,
Exactly.
Well, I mean, listen, I know you don't want to get too into it because you're afraid of the comments, but like, is the fear, I mean, are you doing all the moving and all that stuff to like kind of abate the fear of actually getting married? Like if I keep throwing these huge things in my life.
I had multiple like moments that for the past, because we moved on Friday and we're recording on Sunday. So like the past few days have been just like moving hell and also like packing. And also when you like move in Manhattan or like New York or whatever it is, like you don't even have room for boxes. So it's like trying to pack up boxes, but it's like, where do we put this box? Like there's no room. And I'm like, what kind of fucking freak crazy person moves 2 months out from their wedding? Like it's just like
you're fully insane. Like the fact that you did this and but you're younger, you have that kind of energy. God bless you. But like, I can only do one big thing a month. Like that's insane. What's funny
though? Like I'm 32 now. Not to age myself, but I'm 32.
Whoa.
And literally, like this was the first time where I was moving because I moved, like I was saying, so many times at this point. This was the first time where I was like, "Ow, like my back." I'm too old for this. I'm too old. Like bending over and like putting things in boxes. Like, ow. Oh my God.
Get ready. Oh, I hurt myself in bed the other night. Like there's just, and it's like a science experiment gone wrong. And you just kind of accept it. Like you wake up with new pains and you're like, oh, I guess that part of my body just doesn't work anymore. And you make some excuse in your head of why like that's okay. But deep down, you're like, this is so sad. It's very sad.
It's so crazy. It's so crazy because like I've never been to one that's like, oh, back problems. Like I know that that's something that a lot of people struggle with. And like I've always been like, wow, don't know what that's like.
Yeah.
And now
no, it's gone. It's done. It's
everyone will understand back problems with age, you know?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, you'll all be there. I was reading this book today. We're saying like years 0 to 44 is like, it kind of is a little slow and all of that stuff and everything's exciting. And then age like 44 onwards goes really quick and it's very painful the whole way through.
Oh God. Oh,
Happy Labor Day, everybody. Happy Labor Day. Okay. But listen, let's get off the sad stuff. Let's get on to sad stuff about reality stars that we don't really know. Is that I was looking at Memorial Day. We podcasted on Memorial Day and I was reading what we talked about. And we talked about Jax potentially hooking up with this girl that started Doute in the DMs. Remember that story? She was blessed, very endowed.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. Yeah. Very top heavy.
I don't know if that's okay to say. Like, how do you say that in a beautiful way? Like a nice, like she's very, what is that? Like stacked? What I mean, bodacious. She's got a tubular bod up top, you guys. Okay, so anyways, that was Memorial Day. Now Labor Day. This is how I changed the judging, like the judge the changing of the seasons. Jax Taylor, Brittany Cartwright filed for divorce from Jax Taylor this week. What were your immediate thoughts besides you had to move this week?
I was actually, because we talked about this like a couple weeks ago where I was like, I don't think they're actually ever going to legally divorce because they can't afford to. So I was actually shocked that like they're divorcing. Like divorce is expensive, and it's like they don't have like a lot of disposable income right now.
I love that you're thinking from a financial standpoint because I was thinking of I didn't think she would have the courage to do it because it's so loaded of a thing because they're so tied up in businesses, reality shows. Their son.
That too.
And Jax is very persuasive. I've been going back and watching season 1 of Vanderpump Rules, and he's had the same shtick since season 1. So I was kind of shocked, and I got to say, I was kind of proud of her.
I'm a work in progress.
You don't know. All I can promise is to try to get better. That's all I can do.
You're no angel either, sweetheart.
Yeah. You keep drinking, you got to be a mother and a wife.
You want another kid? Act like a mom. Yeah. Also on the Valley, they Brittany was very clear about wanting another kid. So
yeah. Well, by the way, don't you think I have this thing that like now that she did this, I feel like she will have another kid within a year. It just won't be with Jax.
She could pull a hub house, and be pregnant by another guy in a year. If that's what she wants, sure. Why not?
She's gonna get. I'm gonna get my sparkle back. She's going to get that sparkle back.
She's going to get that sparkle back, whether we like it or not. Did you see that? Apparently, she served him with the divorce papers on camera while they were filming The Valley, but apparently they were reenacting it on camera. Like it actually happened off camera originally.
See, I heard this, Sophie, and I really hope this isn't true because I feel like that's so soulless to reenact it for your reality show, one of the darker moments in your life. As a reality show viewer, I want it to be on camera, but I want to see it for real. Like I mean, that would also explain a little bit more why he did go into that mental health facility. But at the same time, if you're going to reenact it's like me reenacting when my mom died just so I could like do it again. Like that's so dark to actually put that on camera and then to do retakes of it. Like, oh, did you buy my emotion in that one? You know what I'm saying? Like, doesn't that infuriate you if that's true?
Well, yeah. And it's not even like a dark moment. Yes. But also just in general, like it's supposed to be reality TV. Like, I don't want reenactments. I don't want bad acting. Like, I want what's really going on. And if she served him with divorce papers off camera, then I want to see the fallout on camera, but don't like reenact shit.
Yes.
Not, like,
you don't have to show like
reality TV.
Well, imagine you're at Jackson Saloon. You're enjoying your mama's beer cheese.
I don't have to imagine. I was there last night.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, Brittany comes in. She's like, "I gotta talk to you, Dax," and like hands the divorce. Like if you were there for that
waving
moment,
the papers.
Yeah, I'm gonna get my sparkle back.
No, when I picture like serving divorce papers, it's like a stack of papers. Like, is that really how it works? Like you, Ryan, like you would know.
Yeah. There is a stack of papers. It truly is a stack of. It is a stack of papers. Like it's no joke. Like I didn't go through all of, but there is a stack of papers, and wow. The filing itself probably is only a couple of pages. But then when they sign the divorce agreements and stuff like that, that's going to be. They should sell that. Like they should sell that book. I would read it, their divorce agreement, because that is going to think about it. There might be a non-despair. Like they can't. What if they have a non-disparaging clause in there? Like Jack says, you can't talk shit about me. The Valley's over. The Valley's done.
Oh yeah, then like we don't have a show. Well, we don't have a show.
So get this, Brittany, you know, they also have to file custody for who owns the podcast. So they have this podcast When Reality Hits. And Brittany released an episode on Friday, and she started off because it was like they replayed an old episode, but she started off with like new comments. And she said, many have said online that they think this has been a publicity stunt for the show or to garner ratings. And it's the furthest thing from that. My decision to file wasn't made lightly or quickly. It's taken me many, many years to get to this point where I've gained enough courage and strength to do what was best for me, get myself out of a toxic relationship, and ultimately see my worth. It's been very difficult, but I'm stronger than ever. And my motivation is my son, my Cruzy, who deserves a happy, healthy mommy. Moving forward, Jax and I will be doing the podcast separately. So they're like week on, week off with the podcast. Like it's like,
that's so funny. I didn't realize they were doing it like that from now on.
Well, that's what she said in the podcast. So imagine that. It's like a custody agreement with the podcast.
Wait, but that's going to be so funny to see like whose episodes. Like, okay, if you're like a When Reality Hits like loyal like listener, I'm curious, like, are you going to listen to just Jack's weeks or just Brittany weeks? Or like how I want to like, what if there's like a disparity in the listens depending on who's...
Oh my God. Yeah, that's crazy. What if Brittany gets more downloads than Jax, and then Jax has to take it up a notch and he starts doing a podcast where he's like, I'm going to have sex on this podcast. Like, what if he starts doing crazy stunts like Howard Stern or something like that just to get the downloads for his weeks?
He becomes the big shock jock of the century.
Yeah. Hey. Well, I mean, I don't know. I will say the day that she served the divorce papers that were on camera, who knows if that was the real day, I am always a sucker for this shit. Like I'm fully team Brittany, but I also have a weird soft spot for Jax. And I think that's why he's still in all of our lives. Right. So I felt kind of bad until I saw like on the Daily Mail, I was like, I wonder if Jax is like by himself, just crying or something. No, he was out at Craig's restaurant in Los Angeles where paparazzi is always like, they're there every night. And he's photographed. He was there with Jesse Lally from the Valley and a couple of other people. And I was like, dude, this is why like I kind of just like laugh at some of this stuff because it's like, dude, you know, paparazzi is there. Like you want to be seen. And then Brittany was at Craig's on Saturday night, just last night.
Oh God, is Craig's like the new, what was that restaurant in like the early aughts that everyone, the Ivy?
Yeah, it kind of is. It is. Well, that's where Terry and Heather Dubrow were photographed in front of, and they use that as an example of like, we don't call paparazzi. We love to be on camera. And we have like, if you're at Craig's, the paparazzi's just there. And it's very true. But I was kind of thought like Jax would be like, especially after coming out of a mental health facility,
you think that he was going to be like all like down in the dumps?
Well, I don't know.
Brian, come on.
I kind of. Well, no,
come on.
Okay. I just thought 3 weeks I thought maybe he would be looking at life differently. Like, he's like, oh, all this social media, it's all bullshit. It means nothing. It's friendship. That's what the world's about. And it's, it's not.
No, I think that Jax is just fine. And I'm not team anyone in this scenario, because I feel like when we compare Brittany to Jax, we're like, oh, we like think of her as that sweet Southern belle that everyone thought she was in her first season, but she's not. Brittany sucks. I do feel bad for Cruzy. Like Brittany said, like she needs to do what's best for Cruz. Like we have to remember that there's like a child involved. Like that's the most important thing, obviously.
Yeah, obviously. And hopefully, and by the way, she's asking for full custody, but like will, obviously leave room for visitations from Jax. So I'm curious what the agreement on all of this is,
Huh.
Yeah.
Because I could, I don't know. I feel like I could see that like happening and Jax being like, okay. But then that means that Jax is going to have to pay. Is she asking for child support? Do we know?
Well, I don't know about child support, but she's asking for no division in like, she won't owe him alimony and he won't owe her alimony.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, then just an hour ago, she posted on Instagram and she said, POV, in my self-love era, I've always done everything on my own, so I'm not going to stop now. And of course, it's a ad for a female. What do you? Are you saying vibrator?
Like vibrator.
Yeah, this pocket vibrator company always goes after.
Is it Belasco or something? Belasco.
Yeah, Belasco. So go support Brittany on her vibrator post, because this means good money for Brittany.
Wait. What if they get a deal with J-Lo? What if J-Lo posts that ad?
J-Lo, which by the way, we do have a J-Lo story, but that would be great if Brittany's like knocked off the vibrator charts by J-Lo.
Wait, what if Brittany and J-Lo do like single girls night out? Like,
oh my God. And then what if Jax and Ben Affleck hang out and they both look like mopey and miserable? Oh my, that's genius, actually.
Oh my God.
But I mean, don't you think, Brittany, to do this, there must have been something discovered that Jax has been getting into? Like, it must have been so much more that was uncovered after they separated. Oh, yes, of course. Like, he was probably in a bunch of different, like, really?
I don't know. I feel like she was like over it. Like, I feel like she had been over it. I just didn't think they were going to officially divorce because, again, divorce is expensive. I don't know. You think that there's like more? Maybe that's going to come out when we watch the Valley.
100%. Yes.
Let's go!
I think, which I'm like, how fast can you rush the Valley into our screens? Like, I don't even need to edit it at this point.
I know, seriously. Just give us the raw footage.
Yeah, give me 15 minutes of raw footage every night. I'll watch it every night, and I'll just piece together my own scenes.
I want a live feed.
Yeah, a live feed in the Sur alleyway, a live feed at Brittany and Jax's modern farmhouse. Do you think he's hung out with Tom Sandoval yet?
Honestly, yeah. I think that Jax, that's why when you say that you felt bad for him for a second, I was like, Jax isn't sad. Like from the get-go,
he's probably kind of psyched, actually.
Single, like he's thrilled that he can finally be rid of the old ball and chain. Like, of course he is, along with Sandoval and Schwartz.
Well, Schwartz is still with that like 26-year-old.
She's younger than that. She's like 22, isn't she?
I thought she was. I thought she was 20. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I'm probably wrong.
Someone let us know. I could have sworn she was 22.
No, what is Sandoval? He's like, "What's up, dude? I got your back, dude. These women are bitches, dude. Bitches. They don't get it, dude. And now we're together.
They're treating us like Scott Peterson or something.
Yeah, what a fucking Scott Peterson over here, dude. He's an alleged killer. He didn't do it, dude. I don't know. I'm really curious to see. And what I bet, this is what I predict. is after the heat that Lala and Scheana got from this season of Vanderpump Rules for not supporting Ariana, and like a lot of the comments were, this could have been a girl gang season.
Oh, you think that they're going to be like Team Brittany?
Oh, I bet the Valley paid close attention to that, and I bet it's going to knock you out of how hard they're supporting Brittany. That's my prediction.
They're going to back the Brit, back the Blue. Yeah.
They're going to back the Brit, back the Blue, and also that also brings up, I think Lala has had her baby.
Oh my God.
Well, she hasn't announced it yet, but her Instagram went dark and she took her profile pic off. So I feel like this is a rebrand. So I feel like we're about to get some kind of Lion Kings type photo with Lala and the baby.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Do you think that'll be this? Wait, do you think that'll be the season finale of the Valley where the gang has to rush to a hospital and even Jax gets invited and Brittany's like, I don't want to fight with you now. And he's like, we're here for Lala's child. And then Jax like helps deliver the baby and then everybody hugs at the end.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. That's exactly what's going to happen.
Crazier, because I tweeted that earlier. They were filming. This is so Summer House, but even in the midst of this tragedy, the show must go on. And they did this 80s themed sports filming day on Friday. And TMZ,
I saw that.
TMZ released this as big news of like, Jax and Brittany had to stay far away from each other. And they had arrows of where Jax was and Brittany. And the article was like, Brittany got too close to Jax at one point and her friend group had to pull her back. And then it said, Kristen Doute talked to Jax. And you could overhear Jax saying, I was just at a really low place. I was a really, really low point before I went to the facility. And I just love that they were all in these silly 80s costumes. And I just thought, man, this is how dark reality television is. Like a pretty dark week for their lives, but you still got to suit up for the reality show. You still got to dress up.
The show must go on. That's showbiz, baby. That's showbiz. Well,
that's Summer House, which, by the way, Summer House, this is their last shooting weekend this weekend. So they filmed.
This is fast. Why do I feel like they just started?
It's because we're just getting older and everything's just going quicker. That's what I'm talking about. When you get older,
start filming the weekend of July 4th, right?
Yeah, they knock it out.
Oh God.
Well, but that's at the house. They might do like pickup shoots. I mean, maybe right. Carl will break up.
Oh my God. My God. Wait, did you see this? So
what?
And this is kind of related to like influencer, like New York City influencer gossip.
What happened?
There's an influencer named Hallie Batchelder that is signed with the Unwell Network with Call Her Daddy, Alex Cooper.
Yep.
She went on Call Her Daddy. And so for background, her and West both posted the same pictures of oysters a couple weeks ago. And people put the connection together that they were, on a date. And she went on Call Her Daddy the other day and said, I was on this first date with this guy and maybe it was the oysters. Oysters are an aphrodisiac. He fucked me in the ass on the first date and I liked it. Everyone's like, oh my God, she's talking about West. She's talking about West. I know.
There's so much.
Normalize keeping some things like private. Like I know that
I thought you were going to say normalize ass play on the first date.
Normalize getting fucked in the ass on the first date. Okay. No, hey, look at me and my fiance. No, I'm just kidding.
No, but like West, maybe a time not to have anal sex on the first date after this year. After this year, maybe like wait a year to like how does that even?
How does that come up?
Oh, I slipped. Oh, like how does, and then
also when you think about the fact that like Sierra was like, no,
poor Sierra, poor.
Yeah.
What if that's his thing? Like Farrah Abraham. Yeah. Like what if that's his thing?
What, fucking girls in the ass on the
first
date?
Like that might be his thing. Like that's my move,
And no wonder he couldn't get himself to like wait for Sierra. He's used to like fucking girls in the ass on the first date.
Like, there's butts out there I got to do stuff to. I can't be waiting around for you, Sierra. I'm dressed in like weird like 80s.
I came here to fuck in the ass and chew bubble gum. I'm all out of bubble gum.
Now this is going to make me, what if Summer House confronts this issue on this season? Like a very special episode.
Honestly, they should. Like if this isn't a storyline, that's a missed opportunity because this is like, I don't know. I just think it's kind of.
But you know what? Like you said that and I'm shocked, but at the same time, it completely fits what I know about West so far. Like it completely
right. Like
fits.
It's not surprising. It's just funny how like fooled I feel like a lot of people were. Like a lot of people thought he was like this genuine, down to earth, like nice guy, and it's like he's really like been swept up. I feel like in the whole reality fame thing, from what I've observed at least, and then hearing about his sexcapades in detail, it's just like disgusting. He's just another one of the Bravo fuckboys. He's another Austin Kroll. And, that's why Sierra, stay away from them. Stay away. No more. I'm not going to be here for it. I'm not going to be here to hold your hair back, hold your hand, Sierra, like we've been.
Hold your hair, wash your butt. I'm not going to be here for any of it. Like that is, oh my God. I mean, if this West even, I'm scared for Sierra. Like, what if what if that was at the reunion too? Like, what was the final straw? Well, he tried to fuck me in the ass, Andy. And Andy's like, oh, okay, sorry about that.
I can't remember where I was reading it, that someone, maybe it was like a Demois thing, someone had a run-in with Sierra, and I think the subject of West came up, and she was like, oh no, I'm fucking done with him, obviously. But I think there was like a little, question mark, where are they going to leave off going into the next summer? Like, what's going to be their status? It sounds like she's done with him, but like, I can't imagine that feels good for like, that sort of thing to go public about someone that you like recently had feelings for,
Yeah. Wait, so did this girl say she was going on a second date with West on the podcast? Or
she's clearly like very single. So I think maybe she's kind of like a fuck girl from what I've gathered, and he's a fuck boy. So I think maybe it's just like one of those things where it's just like, you collide and then go your separate ways.
I will tell you, like,
I collide.
I mean, I swear to God, if you like now, like, I don't know, if you tell me some story about John Jansen and Alexis doing the same thing, I'm gonna freak out. Like, but I will say West for that age is, well, I know this is a family show, but like, is butt sex back on the agenda for like kids in their 20s? Is that like a bit? Is it coming back? Is it like soaking?
You guys,
is it like soaking? Is it like a new thing?
Also, like, like Ryan and I it's been a while since we've been in like the dating scene. So if you're dating, like, is this something that you do? Like, our sex on the first date? Absolutely. Yes, sure. But sex on the first date, I'm a little trepidatious about. I have questions. So let us know if that's like become more of a thing recently.
Yeah, like that could be something that's like reared its ugly head again. And what if it like makes its way through the summer house where Jesse Solomon's like, what would Jesse Solomon do? I'll put 2 in your butt. And what if, and then Kyle feels left out. So like Amanda wakes up crying, like running out of the room. He's like, Kyle just tried something disgusting. And he was like, I'm sorry. Also, I was talking to the guys and he says it's like a thing. Like,
we would like see that happen though on the night vision cameras though on Summer House.
Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Like, Kyle!
Kyle, no. Kyle, don't you want your swimsuit line? Kyle, please. Yeah. Oh, this is quite a Labor Day, folks. I'm so glad you told me that. And this girl has a podcast now on the Unwell Network. She's that big.
She hasn't launched her podcast yet. So she's like a TikToker. She's known for being like a very chaotic, like drunk, like just like very chaotic, crazy person.
Yeah.
And her podcast hasn't launched yet, but this was an episode of I think it was just Call Her Daddy. Like she went on and Call Her Daddy. I know we talk
Call Her Daddy.
For how much we can't stand Call Her Daddy and Alex Cooper. We talk about her way too much.
Okay, but Sophie, because I mean, she's a huge part of pop culture. In fact, I have Demois on the podcast on Tuesday, and I talked with her last week, and I brought up Alex Cooper with her, and it was so funny because she was like, it's not really my style, kind of like, and she wasn't shitting on Alex Cooper on any stretch of the imagination, but it was funny because I was like, wow, she's like on top of everything. Because I said she was going over to Sirius with $125 million deal, Alex Cooper. And now I was like, are they like passing the baton from like Stern to Alex Cooper? And I don't think Demois loved that I said that. And I was even a little ashamed of myself, but you can't argue with her popularity. Like that kind of shit, it succeeded.
Clearly people are listening. Again, not my cup of tea either. And I think, as someone that has a journalism background and like has interviewed people for a living, bad interview skills piss me off. And it's just like, you know.
Yeah. No, I know exactly.
But I will say, from what it sounds like, and not like diminishing this insane deal that she just inked, obviously, it's amazing and impressive. But it is, I think, up to 125 million, meaning there are probably incentives. So
and her unwell network is a part of that 125 million. So that will also go.
It's not like they're just like handing her 125 million dollars. I think there are like a lot of incentives. It kind of reminds you of like the Spotify like Archwell network, like Meghan Markle and Prince Harry deal, whereas like you have to like produce. There are a lot of incentives involved, and then you get paid. So it's like. I don't know. In a lot of the popularity of the Unwell Network is riding on these names that she's signed. Alex Earl is under the network and is dealing with a racism scandal at the moment.
Yeah, I wanted to mention that to you in a second, but yeah, Alex Earl's on there. Harry Jowsey's on there.
Harry Jowsey, whose podcast I think is a flop. Hallie Batchelder. So again, it's like that's kind of the other frustrating thing is that she's signing these like, I guess they're TikTok popular. Alex Earl, of course, extremely TikTok popular. Hallie Batchelder, Harry Jowsey, like these people have very questionable character. And it's just like, why would I root for that success?
But it's all about their youth, and they're speaking to a younger audience that doesn't give a shit. They're just looking for
speaking to us.
Yeah, well, they're not looking for a good interview. I mean, I don't know. So it's really interesting to follow, but I wanted to talk about Alex Earl because this has now happened, and it kind of this wave of mutilation with people and their old Twitter tweets from like 10, 11 years ago.
Twitter. It was, what was it? Ask FM? Is that
Ask
what it was?
FM. Yeah.
What
Alex Earl
is Ask FM.
It was like a thing back in the day where I was it like you could ask questions. Like
she was apparently, according to her, quote unquote, 13.
She's 13 and she was dropping the N-word in a bunch of.
She was dropping the N-word left and right. And I don't know how people found this. And again, it's like.
Well, it started off with Brooke Schofield.
Right.
And Tana, who do the Canceled podcast. And Brooke Schofield, all of her Twitter feed was kind of found from like when she was really young. But like hers was even more dark because there was a specific one about Trayvon Martin where I was like, that is dark. Because I was like, kids say stupid ass things. But I will say, even though I was trying to be empathetic towards both of these people, I have to tell you, like, I knew saying the N-word was not right from the get. Like, I knew it from a kid. Like, I knew that from a very, like, so.
Also, Alex Earl is like, what? She's 22, 23.
Is she?
So she's like, I was only 13. I'm like, that was like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah. Well, it is. Well, I mean, like, I feel like, yeah,
I know that, like, when you're a kid, you know, your frontal lobe is not developed. Her frontal lobe still isn't fully developed. I understand that, like, you shouldn't have to pay for the dumb ass mistakes you make as a child. I understand that. But again, it's like, this was 2014. By 2014, I feel like everyone kind of knew not to say the N-word. And I think, just even us as kids knew not to say the N-word. And we were growing up way before that. So, like, I don't know. There really is no excuse. She's apologized first with like an Instagram story, and then people.
That's the apologies. Then she has to film one, and then people then stitch that on TikTok and say this isn't as good. This isn't a good apology. This isn't, and it is funny because it really the apology kind of was like soured because then later that night she did a get ready with me of like apologizing for your mistakes. Then it's like get ready with me to go party, and it kind of is really distasteful.
Like at least like maybe just like. Take a few days off. I don't know. I'm not like a PR expert. But yeah, I just think that no matter what, it's like you have Brooke Schofield, you have Alex Earl, and both of these women like have just experienced this like insane popularity and insane growth on social media. And it's like the people that build you up are going to tear you down if you are not completely perfect, if you don't have a completely perfect record. And again, I'm not saying that like, oh my God, they just like, everyone has flaws. No, they both said very fucked up things, but it's just like, it's interesting how like it's going to happen to just about everyone that.
Well, everything that our whole lives are online. Our whole lives are online now.
Yeah.
So everything that they do and say, and it is interesting because the canceled podcast was, like they had canceled people right and left. And even Tana had said the same things in tweets along. She already dealt with this thing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's not surprising, but it is interesting to think about where you go from here, because there hasn't really been a history of like where influence. It's like reality TV stars. We don't know how reality TV stars age. Like we know physically, but we don't know like when's the point where they stop making money and start getting a new career. How do influencers age? Like, where do they go from here? Like, is Tana and Brooke and Alex Earl, like, are they going to be doing this into their 60s? Like, how do they do this?
I mean, probably. I think as long as they're creating content and they have legions of fans that are going to consume that content, then I don't see why not. But I guess, again, like we're talking about people that are extremely popular and have made so much money just from being themselves on the internet. They have very cushy lives from, this popularity. So I guess it's like the price that you have to pay to be a public figure. If you don't have, a good track record or a perfect past, you're going to pay and people are going to make you pay. And again, I'm not saying that like, everyone makes mistakes, because especially what Brooke said is like completely unacceptable.
Yeah.
And
it's weird
that she's being held accountable, and it's good that Alex Earl is being held accountable. But yeah.
Well, somebody else that should be held accountable is this John Jansen. He's been terrorizing the Orange County now for a couple of years. And this week we got harrowing news is that he got engaged to Alexis Fun Lexi Bellino. And weirdly enough, you guys, he did it on a Wednesday. And then, or that's when they announced it on a Wednesday. They press released it in People magazine. And then on Thursday, the new episode of Orange County aired, and Alexis wasn't in that episode. So to me, that's another piece of strategy there. I mean, like, I want to believe, like, I do believe this is a real relationship. I do believe that I think they're in love somewhat, but I also think they're in love with attention. And it's really weird announcement to make right before your show that you're on, that you're really doing horribly on, comes out. And I don't know, like, did you have any thought about this, Sophie?
Do you think it was strategic that they announced it on Wednesday, knowing that
yes.
they featured in the episode on Thursday, so they could like overshadow the episode, or to still get attention?
Or just like, look at me, I'm still over here.
Oh god,
like it's one of those like kind of nagging, like, I'm always gonna be here over your shoulder, Shannon. That's how I feel.
Oh my god, you know what? Shannon Bedore is stronger than the Marines.
Oh, like, so Sophie didn't see this week's episode, but I will tell you, it was like a really wildly uneven episode where they played a game of the Traitors, and it made me hate the Traitors. And I love the Traitors, but it was so sloppy of a game. But it also showed Shannon getting her like breathalyzer like in her car put in. And I just thought she's handling this with I mean, I know this sounds silly, but she's handling this with a lot of grace and humor, and every step of the way admitting how wrong she is. It's just then you throw this Alexis storyline into it. That's where it gets kind of weird. And it does seem like they're blackmailing her of like, we're going to release the tapes. Johnny J's ready to talk. And it's like, we don't even want to hear from Johnny J. Like, this should be about Shannon paying for her mistakes, drinking and driving, and not anything to do with her previous relationship. It's fun to watch, but it's really horrible to watch at the same time.
Oh God. I saw a meme the other day that was like Heather Dubrow's storyline is always like, what mansion should we buy next, Terry? And then Shannon Bedore's storyline is her just like literally being like beat up by the world.
Yes. Like, that's it exactly. And I think that's why we kind of sometimes root or see ourselves in Shannon, because I'm like, I'm a hot mess. Like Shannon, like, I mean, I want to believe that I have a future. And I mean, Heather lives on like rarefied air where she can have multiple mansions. Everything's fancy. And there's a place for that. But I love that Shannon's there to remind somebody of like, man, life is crazy tough. And then, of course, you have Tamara. And Tamara, you guys, just got a facelift for her birthday 2 days ago. She's posting her journey. So don't get mad at me for talking about it. Don't get mad at me. Like, she did look like the Incredible Hulk. She had a light shade of green on her face on Friday. And then she posted today her face is... Oh, all right. That was your dog. We had a pooch. No, that's fine. No. Huge Tamara fan, your dog. Oh, you... Yeah. Hi, Henry. Sorry, Sophie just muted herself. It's okay.
Okay. Sorry, my dog.
No, life happens. This is why this is what the podcast is about. Anyways,
I'm like Shannon Bedore. I'm just like showing you the real shit.
this is like how Gina lives. Gina's just there's constantly something going on. No, I think it's all, I don't know. I think it's great to watch, but it is funny to think that this is actually like, I just think this is like a living nightmare for Shannon Bedore. And Tamara has been so horrible to her. And I want to say that with the same thing of like, I see you, I respect you in the Housewives game, because this is like your motive. This is her gameplay she's doing. But at the same time, I just feel like she's such a bad friend, or it appears to be that she's a bad friend. Tamara.
Oh, horrible. Did you see also that Vicky did like a Q&A the other day?
I've got it right here.
Yes.
So you guys, I had Christian Gray Snow, who's co-hosting a podcast with Vicky Gunvalson right now, which is actually really good. I listened to a bunch of episodes this week. It was a fantastic interview. Vicky, in this week's podcast, announced that she had like sepsis. They gave her like a 10 to 20% chance of survival. They thought she had a stroke. It was this insane story that they told on the podcast. But then Vicky's like lied up in bed right now, and she did like a Instagram Q&A. And these are a little smattering of her answers. Thoughts about Alexis this season on Real Housewives of Orange County. Vicky responds, idiot. Didn't like her then and still don't like her. And then another question. Would you ever trust Tamara again? Absolutely flippin' never ever, nor do I want to be friends with her again. Thoughts on Katie, who's the new cast member? I didn't get to know her, so I have no thoughts on her. And then what are your thoughts on Alexis and John's engagement news? Vicky memed herself, and it was the meme of a couple of seasons ago when she was like,
talk to me in 5 years when you get divorced.
Exactly. Talk to me in 5 years when you get Vicky crushing it on Instagram stories this week. So I thought those were excellent.
Oh my God, I loved that. I loved it.
Yeah,
I loved it,
yeah.
especially the meme. But also, it's just like the Tres Amigas, R.I.P. You're supposed to be my friend, my sister.
The Tres Amigas are dead. That's what they said this week. Tres Amigas are dead. And I love sisterhood. I love friend groups, but like, it's always seemed like she's used that friend group when it's convenient and then backed off when it's hard.
Well, that's Tamara. That's Tamara for you. That's literally who she is.
But I mean, what I'm confused about and what I keep asking people is like, is that who she is, or is that who she is on the show? Like, is this a whole different story? Is she doing like a character? Is this her? Because she's very aware. She's not dumb. She plays smart and dumb at the same time, but she's not dumb. She's very smart. I just sometimes don't realize, like even this week they said, what's that?
I was just going to say, I think someone that sacrifices their relationships, their friendships, for instance, and also their relationship with their own family members for a TV show, to whether it's playing a character or not, like that's who she is then, you know?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does make sense. And I feel bad like pointing this out because I know she's cognizant of everybody talking about it. But at the same time, I think she kind of likes it and kind of, I don't know. That's the thing is you watch so many of these shows, you kind of wonder what the behind the scenes is and like how real everything is, whether we're talking about Vanderpump or this. But Shannon is the same mind of like, I don't want to be friends with Tamara ever again. So I'm curious because these shows are always usually about resolution. You don't want a New Jersey situation where everybody's just refusing to film with each other. But I still am loving this season of OC. But even the midseason trailer, we see that John Jansen does make an appearance. And I'm like, dude, and I feel like they're going to just hold Shannon down and make her have a scene with him.
Johnny fucking J.
Well, okay, Sophie, imagine at your wedding. Imagine I come and I brought all your exes with me. And I was like, hey, so just wanted them to see what they're missing, right? And you're like, Ryan, what the fuck are you doing? I thought you were a friend. Like, why would you do this? And I was like, it's gonna make your wedding that much better, babe. Like, what if I was like that? You would be furious. I'd get thrown out of the wedding, probably, you know?
You know what's so funny is that like people will be like, what would you do? It'll be like a tweet or a TikTok. What would you do if all of your exes, if you walked into a room and all of your exes were there? I'd be like, oh my God, like, how's it going, Mike? What's up? How's the kid?
Well, I had a sketch in the Groundlings a long time ago where that was it. Like the conceit of the sketch was I was getting engaged and I brought her ex with me because she always said, like, he's like, you always said you wanted your ex to see how happy you are now. Well, here he is. And then I get engaged in front of the ex. And then I kept bringing up people from her past life into the scene, which is just insane. But I feel like that's what reality shows do. Is like they make you confront every insane thing you've done in the past.
Yeah, totally.
I'm watching the season 1 of Vanderpump Rules right now, and I just got to the Laura Lee breakup where Laura Lee.
Oh my God, that's Henry's. That's what like made Henry actually appreciate Vanderpump Rules.
Really?
Yeah. Oh my God. When Jax, you mean when Jax breaks up with Laura Lee after they go to an AA meeting together?
Like at the AA meeting, in the same room where she's at the AA meeting, you guys, and she's like, I used to steal things for drugs, meth. I was so addicted to it. I used to do this. And they shoot at Jax, and Jax gives a look like, oh shit. And then in the talking head, he's like, I knew it was bad, but I didn't know it was this bad. Like, holy shit. And then afterwards he goes, you know I like you, right? Okay, you know that, right? Well, I just think maybe we're spending more time together, like more time. Like we should. I want to miss you, babe. Like I want to miss you, and like you know, I'm just getting out of a 2-year relationship. I mean, I shouldn't be doing this anyways. And she's like,
and then he's like, but not the physical stuff, not the physical stuff.
He goes, the physical stuff's great. I'm talking about the interpersonal stuff. Physical, I love it. And she's like, okay, it's so bizarre. It's so bizarre. So Jax, when I'm feeling bad for him, I have to realize he's had 12 years of these conversations. Like he's probably so used to this kind of shit.
He was also like 40 during season 1 of Vanderpump Rules.
Well, that was the joke, was like Stassi's parents were even like, you just date unemployed guys that want to live off you, you know?
They're like, you are like a hot 22-year-old. Why are you dating like with a promising future? Why are you dating an unemployed 40-year-old man?
I will say though, he really, like back in the day, he was so extremely good looking. Even Laura Lee goes, you're literally the hottest guy I've ever dated in my life. And he goes, you can never hear that too much, right? And he's like looking around the bar.
Laura Lee was so down bad for Jack. She was so
she
down bad.
You know, she went to Juilliard. Like she was the real deal.
Yeah.
She was a very talented, or probably still is a very talented actor.
I really thought after her turn as Boner Garage in We're the Millers, like, I don't know where she's been.
And she's one of those people that like I wouldn't even reach out to for an interview because like I hope she's like moved on with her. Like I don't want to bring her back into this toxicity, you know?
What is even Laura Lee's last name?
I always just thought it was Laura Lee. It's just Lee.
It's just Laura Lee. She's like Madonna.
Yeah. To me, she is. Like who's made that kind of cultural footprint on just one season of reality TV? She killed it.
I know, seriously. Okay, she's literally just like Laura Lee. She just goes by Laura-Lee, even on her IMDb page.
What's the last project she worked on?
Let's see.
Oh, and if you put if it says The Valley season 2, I'm gonna lose my shit.
Oh, wait, what was Under the Silver Lake? Wasn't that?
Well, that was a movie. It was like an independent film. Robert Pattinson was in it, right?
She was apparently in that in 2018. She was in Blue Bloods in 2010. We're the Millers in 2013.
So it's been here. It's been spotty. It's been a little spotty, but
you know, but like she's not working. Oh, she was in something called Fatality in 2016. I mean, she's not the most employed person.
Yeah, who is?
Her IMDb page.
Who amongst us is the most employed person?
Oh, who among us, you know?
And good for her for not coming back to reality television just because she needed the work.
Exactly.
What did you watch this week? I know you were moving, so you probably didn't watch anything, but did you guys hunker down with the show?
So I am caught up on Emily in Paris, the new season of Unsolved Mysteries, Hard Knocks on HBO. What was the other thing on Netflix? Oh, watch the Lacey Peterson doc, obviously.
Completely innocent.
What? He's alleged. He's alleged.
Did you watch Scott Peterson, the one on Peacock that he did?
No, because I read that they're really kind of like trying to take the side that like maybe he didn't do it. They're trying to cast a shadow of doubt on the fact that like, oh, maybe they didn't find the real. It's like O.J. Simpson being like, let's find the guy that did this. Like that's apparently Scott Peterson.
Well, remember when O.J. was like found innocent? He was like, I will work for the rest of my life to find the killers of Nicole and Ron. And then he was just out golfing every day. Like the search stopped.
Yeah.
Like he was like,
well, he was like, yeah,
it's beautiful weather. I must golf. You know, rest in peace, Juice.
Oh, also Love is Blind UK. So,
did you watch the reunion?
Yeah.
Okay, what did you see? This is where I was pissed off. Why is every other show like 4 or 5 hours, but this reunion's an hour? And I felt like they didn't even. It was like tip of the iceberg shit. Like the girl that lived in Ireland.
Sabrina and Steven. I had so many questions about that. Why
they just wrapped it up. They're like, okay, you hate each other. Let's move on.
I love how the hosts also are just like a random. Are they?
I think they're big. I think they're
somebody's in the UK, I assume.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe so.
So they're like the Vanessa and Nick Lachey of the UK, apparently. But they also suck at hosting and also suck at reunions. Like, is it that hard to find like a married couple who's like good at hosting things?
I mean, it must be, but also they must be like so produced that they don't have a lot of say in it. So they've got to ask certain questions. They've got to wrap things up. But for me, I'm like, you've already got me, Netflix. Why don't we make this 2 or 3 hours? Like, I'll watch it.
I know. I was like really annoyed by that. And also
like Ollie and what's her name? Like, I was like, well, Ollie. I couldn't believe that.
Kat apparently is dating someone else from the pods. So Kat was the one that was engaged to Freddie, the hot
who Freddie was your favorite. Yeah.
Love Freddie. Love him. I'm thinking of faking my own death just to like.
Would you let Freddie do a first date Wes Wilson on you if you
I would let Freddie embalm the shit out of me. Let's just put it that way.
Oh my God.
I'd let him embalm my ass.
Poor Henry.
I know. I'm just kidding.
Love is Blind UK was actually pretty good. I just
the other thing about Love is Blind UK is that I know that we talked about it 2 weeks ago, but I can't remember if we brought up the fact that like everyone on Love is Blind UK was like in their 30s.
Yeah.
So they were all like really like ready to settle down, which I think is like such a stark difference. I think that's what it made it a little bit more enjoyable than the US seasons.
Yeah. And well, the Golden Bachelorette's going to start here in like a couple of weeks. So they're doing the female version of that. So I'm really excited about that because the season finale of The Bachelorette is this week. That's coming out. We have The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives on Hulu, which I got to watch the first season. Oh, the first episode is fucking insane, you guys. It's like mom talk, like it's TikToks involved. I think we talked about this whole TikTok drama because there was like soft, what was it called? Soft swapping, swap. Because they were, what is it called? Not soaking, but soft swapping.
What's swapping?
I think, well, they were all like hooking up with each other's partners.
Swinging?
But soft swinging. Sorry, that's it. Soft swinging. They were soft swinging. Remember this? Like Taylor, Frankie Paul, and like all of these people on TikTok.
Yes, I do remember that. I do remember that. Well, wait, Taylor Frankie Paul is going to be in it?
She's the lead of it.
Oh, I didn't even realize that. Okay.
At the end, you guys know, I hate to give the spoil. At the end of the first episode, she gets arrested. Like, it's insane. It's insane. And
so seated.
It's really like, it's even the opening is like insane. They film it in front of like one of the Mormon churches.
What's it going to be on again?
Hulu. I think all episodes are going to drop at the same time. I have 4 of the cast members on this week. I'm going to talk to them on Wednesday, and that'll probably come out the next week. But
you're more on top of it than Alex Cooper. You should be getting Alex Cooper money.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
Also, I finally saw another thing that I watched. Wait, can I change the subject?
Yeah, change it. What is it?
I finally saw Twisters, you guys.
Oh, I got a story about that in a sec.
Don't say it's anything bad about Glenn Powell because my entire For You page is like Glenn Powell fan cam edits because like why did I not like appreciate him before? There's something about him in a cowboy hat in this movie. Oh, ooh! Did
you see this with Henry?
Yeah. And I kept being like, oh my God, he's so hot. Henry was like, stop.
Yeah, stop. I mean, I'm even saying stop. I was at the same acting school as Glenn, and I used to do a podcast for my work back in the day when I used to work there, And I have one with Glenn right after he did this great movie with Richard Linklater called Everybody Wants Some. And we started like, this dude is the most charming, nice dude. And his story.
That's what I've heard.
He wanted to be in movies. Like that was his goal. And he came out here. He would just find his way on a studio set and he would like just sit in front of offices and just make conversation with people. But he's the kind of guy that people don't get creeped out when you make, like if I make a conversation with somebody, people are like, what's up with this dude? But like Glenn Powell did it. Everybody was charmed as hell. He is such, like, he's the real deal. He's a really nice guy.
He has like just such insane star power, because now I'm going back and watching like all of his filmography. Like I never saw Anyone But You, but now that I'm like a Glenn Powell stan, I'm like, he really is like, he has like true movie star potential.
Well, watch everybody watch everybody. Oh, this is Twisters. Get this, you guys. This was really bad news. On Friday night, I was in bed and I get a letter. I get an email. I get a written letter and I get an email from AMC Stubs because I'm a proud AMC Stubs member. I'm an A-lister, so I pay for a service where I can see 3 movies a month and I never use it. So anyways, they say, hey, just wanted to make sure you were all set with all of the information you changed on your account. And I was like, what information? I go to my account and I look at my profile and hey, Javier Bellamy, if you're listening to this, you can suck my D. This guy changed everything and he lives in Brooklyn, New York. And then I found out he went and saw Twisters on Friday night at Kips Bay. I'm talking to you, Javier, right now.
On your dime?
On my A-list account, he changed the email address, he changed the phone number at AMC Kips Bay, August 30th, 10:40 p.m. This motherfucker used my AMC account, and I'm on to you, Javier. I got your number.
Wow.
I know where you live in Brooklyn. You probably gave fake. That's probably all fake, and I probably actually don't know it. But I write AMC because there's no 800 number, and I'm like, I've had this account since I'm like an old man. I've had this account since 2017. And then I got his, and then I was so mad on Friday night. This is so immature. I get his number and I go, how was Twisters?
Oh, you got his number?
I'm on to your game, Javier. It's probably a fake number. So it's probably, he never answered back, but I wanted him to know that I know what he's doing. And I changed all the information. I changed my password and it's like, I have the same password for anything. And it's like the stupidest password ever. And I need to change it. But I'm like, how did this, is this like, is my AMC account on the dark web? Is that the black market? Like, is my shit getting sold off out there?
Of all things that like could be like hacked, your social security number, like,
I don't care about it. No, I don't care about that shit.
Your AMC Stubs account.
Yeah, how dare you? And like, just to think, like, I'm so busy that I don't get to go to the movie theaters, and this Javier is going to see Twisters at Kips. It sounds amazing. I was like, I want to see Twisters. I would love to see Twisters.
Wait, you haven't seen it yet?
No, I'm so like, Javier's out there.
Oh
living.
My God, Brian, you have to see Twisters. You have to.
I know. So anyways, that's Twisters. Go see it, you guys. It's a great
Wait, have you seen like there was this new like thing that went viral. It was apparently TikTok viral, but I only saw it come across my Twitter feed because people were like, don't do this. It's this new like chase hack. Everyone was like, it's this new chase hack. Where like, did you see this?
Well, I saw somebody tweet about it where like, you guys are fucking
idiots.
It's
literally just doing check fraud. Like,
and everybody's filming themselves doing it. You're like, you're committing a crime on camera.
Oh God.
Really, as we wind down here, I wanted to say what I did watch this weekend, and I feel like Kim Kardashian when she listened to the podcast Serial 7 years after it had been out. She's like, what do you guys think about Adnan? Is he guilty or what? And it was like 7 years after Serial came out.
It was like 2019 when she asked that.
It was like, you guys hear about this case? I finally finished Presumed Innocent on Apple TV with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh yeah. Wait, did you text me about it? You were like, oh my God. No, wait, I think it was my girlfriend.
No.
She was like, oh my God, you have to watch Presumed Innocent. And I was like, you are like literally 3 months late. Like been there, done that.
No, I'm like fully Kim Kardashian. We loved it. I thought it was great. I kept watching episodes.
So good. And they changed, if you had seen the movie, that it's a movie based on a book. And if you've seen the movie, then you're like, well, I know the ending, I know what happens. but they changed the ending in the show. So you actually are like surprised.
Okay, but I even thought it was, oh, I don't want to spoil it. But anyways, I even didn't know where it was going. I thought it was a whole different guy, not Jake Gyllenhaal, but I thought it was the lawyer. And I was like, oh, it's that other douchebag lawyer that did it.
Oh, I thought it was Tommy Moto for a little bit.
That's what the other douchey lawyer. I thought it was Tommy Moto.
And then by the end, you realize that he's like the DA's assistant DA or something who's prosecuting Jake Gyllenhaal. Rusty. We're like, what kind of name is Rusty, first of all? Sorry.
Oh my God. Rebecca said this. Rebecca said the same damn thing. Is what kind of name is Rusty?
Why are we like acting like it's normal that he's like named Rusty? And by the end, Henry and I were like, oh my God, Tommy Moto is just like a sad, lonely cat lady. And like at the end,
when he was like cheering at the football game, he was like cheering at the football game. And I was like, oh God.
Also, I know that like I think Henry and I are the only people that care, but a new season of the Lord of the Rings show on Amazon Prime.
I was like, oh, I bet Sophie is loving this show because you loved Lord of the Rings season 1.
Yes, I love Rings of Power season 1. Season 2 is out for anyone who cares, even though I know everyone listening, no one gives a shit.
Yeah, it's like when you recommend the Liam Neeson movies, nobody takes you up on that. Well, okay, I do want to bring Kim Kardashian to end this. I did text you on Friday, but I texted you the insane photo of Kim Kardashian. You know how she does prison reform, and it's really actual noble, good work. She posted this photo, and she's like, yesterday I had the amazing opportunity to spend some time with the guys at Pine Grove Prison, and it's all of these dudes in like orange jumpsuits, and then Kim and one of their friends and Kendall are like in front, and Kim's giving like the peace sign with the duck lips. And I'm like,
so what? It's not like just read the room, you know,
and
like
Kendall looks wildly uncomfortable. Kendall's like, make me a bird so I can fly far, far away. Oh, not at all.
You know what?
Like, it'll be fun.
Lana Del Rey's next boyfriend.
Well, wait, by the way, Lana Del Rey was allegedly accused of dating this bayou fisherman, and it turns out she says no, it's not true. And then somebody on Twitter acted like she was that guy's daughter and did this whole tweet storm, and it turns out that wasn't true as well. But Lana Del Rey was seen with this fisherman dude at her concert in Leeds, holding hands. So maybe they're not together anymore, but she was
like a crocodile like tour guide or something.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, because by the way, he gave a crocodile tour to Glen Powell in 2017. No shit.
I saw that.
Yeah. Well, anyways, Kim Kardashian took this insane photo, which is like, it's great work, but maybe don't do your influencer pose to a bunch of men that are in prison for the rest of their lives. Like everything's like, this is an opening of like a Skims outlet at a prison, you know?
Oh,
it was so ridiculous.
Just like so inappropriate. It does sound like a good program though. It basically like reforms. It's like a reform program for men in a certain age group. They're on the younger side. So it's like, maybe there's, possibility that they'll change their ways, where they can they train to become firefighters when they're released. So they are like doing something good with their lives. Yeah. Which actually is pretty cool. Like,
it's amazing. All of that's amazing. It's just the Kim pose.
Just read the room for once.
Well, finally, I was thinking about Kim because of this and because of the cereal thing. And I wanted to read you to end the show a couple of, we barely covered nothing, but we had a great time. We learned about Wes Wilson. But I want to end with this. Kim Kardashian had the most iconic Twitter account for a long time. This is from a BuzzFeed article about some of Kim's weirdest tweets. And this is one from 2010. Thanks, guys. I had no idea pickle was really a cucumber! ! You guys totally confirmed it. That's a great tweet. And then here's one from 2011. I'm a slave for you, at Chris Humphreys. That's an iconic tweet. And then...
what a time that was.
And here's one from 2010. Nicole Richie reminds me of my Jeep. So mysterious, that tweet. Here's one. 2009. I have a really odd talent. I can smell when someone has cavities. I have never been wrong yet. They don't even have to be super close to me.
I remember that one, and I still think about it a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. This is like, and then here's one from 2010. Someone has a cavity in the car I'm in. I can smell it.
Like, I don't not believe her. Like, that's I do believe that she has that talent. Not bad for a girl with no talent, you know?
No, right? I mean, why are we not capitalizing on this, Chris, if you're listening? Kim in this one says, isn't it weird how singers like Rihanna and Celine Dion sing in an American accent, but really speak with an accent? 2009.
I think about that all the time too. Not that specific tweet, but I think about the fact that like British singers like don't have a British accent when they sing. Like, what's the deal with
Maybe
that?
this is why Kim's so popular. She's so relatable because you had the same thought.
What's the deal? Do an impression of Jerry Seinfeld.
Hey, what's the deal with Celine Dion and Rihanna? Well, I mean, are you Brennan? What's going on? Here's an inspiring one for your week. Aspire to inspire before you expire.
Words to live by forever.
Yeah,
like, come on. I mean, brilliant.
Here's one. Ate a bite of salad and an olive was in it. I liked it, but scares me because I hate olives. Hope my taste isn't changing. I don't want to like olives.
I want like a regroup. Like I want to ask her now, like how she feels about olives. Like if it changes. Yeah. I wonder about that too a lot because I hate olives, but I want to be someone who likes olives. Like, will that ever change?
Well, these seem to all be from like 2009, 2010, 2011. So somebody at some point took away her phone or said, it's like, stop tweeting stupid shit. We know it wasn't Kanye because he used to love tweeting stupid shit.
No, that was like the vibe of Twitter back then though. Like that was the vibe. Yeah.
Kim Kardashian, 2010. Do peanuts have carbs?
Do they?
Yes.
They would. Yeah, they would.
Yes.
Is butter a carb?
Anyway, here's 2012. I want to start a Bible study group with my friends. I mean, she ended up with that Sunday service thing with Kanye.
I mean, her and Chris get a tax write-off because they say they own a church.
Okay, a couple more. I just surfed the day away. Caught a good old radical wave off of the coast of Bermuda. Tubular, right, dudes?
Wait, okay. It's kind of crazy that this is not the first use of the word tubular in this episode.
Yeah, no, it's right. No, that's why I relate to this. Oh, here's a good. Hey, here, Kim Kardashian, 2010. Gay bar time. Woohoo. I guess she was going to a gay bar. Maybe?
Ally. She's an ally.
Yes.
I wish she was so tweeted like this. Like, I miss seeing their personalities.
2009. SMH means shaking my head. Thank you, Kim.
Thank you, Kim. Very cool.
2009. I'm naked right now. 3 exclamation points.
Thank you, Kim.
I'm naked right now. Oh, and here's a good one. I just got fucked in the pooper by Wes Wilson. Thank you. Good night. Sorry, that wasn't an actual tweet. Okay, Sophie, we're less than 2 months away from the wedding. I mean, we're pulling for you. You got a new place. You've got everything is coming up, Sophie, but it's just intense. Are you taking any like overseas vacations this week? Anything happening?
Oh my God. I do have my cousin's wedding in Cincinnati next weekend. So I know.
You do. Of course.
I know. Trust me. It's not great timing. We just moved in. We're really excited to get settled. I have something exciting that I'm working on I'll have more to talk about soon.
Is it with the Unwell Network?
I've been signed by Adam Scooper. No, but it is podcast related. So,
Are you quitting?
Quitting podcasting?
The show.
No. Are you firing me?
No, I was. Yeah, by the way, I'm like, what? If you're on the Unwell, you're out. You're out.
I would choose you over Unwell. I don't care what the paycheck is. I would choose you over Unwell Network any day.
That's completely idiotic. You got to go with Unwell. That's anyways, you guys have a great rest of your week. This was a silly episode, but I hope you enjoyed it. Come back on Tuesday. We got Dumois. We got great guests all week. And yeah, have a great week, you guys. Bye.
Bye.